Adjara, officially the Autonomous Republic of Adjara, is an autonomous republic of Georgia. Adjara, located in the southwestern corner of Georgia, is on the eastern end of the Black Sea and is bordered by Turkey to the south. Adjara is a home to the Adjar ethnic subgroup of Georgians. Adjara is also known as Adjar, Adjar, Aria, Adjaria, Adzharaya, Achera, Akharaya and Adjaristan. Under the Soviet Union, it was known as the Adjarian Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic. History. Adjara has been part of Colchis and Caucasian Iberia since ancient times. Colonized by Greeks in the 5th century BC, the region fell under Rome in the 2nd century BC. It became part of the region of Egrisi before being incorporated into the unified Georgian kingdom in the 9th century AD. The Ottomans conquered the area in 1614. The people of Adjara converted to Islam in this period. The Ottomans were forced to cede Adjara to the expanding Russian Empire in 1878. After a temporary occupation by Turkish and British troops in 1918–1920, Adjara became part of the Democratic Republic of Georgia in 1920. After a brief military conflict in March 1921, Ankara's government ceded the territory to Georgia under Article 6 of Treaty of Kars on the condition that autonomy be provided for the Muslim population. The Soviet Union established the Adjar Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic in 1921 in accord with this clause. Thus, Adjara was still a component part of Georgia, but with considerable local autonomy. Independent Georgia After the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, Adjara became part of a newly independent but politically divided Republic of Georgia. It avoided being dragged into the chaos and civil war that afflicted the rest of the country between 1991 and 1993 due largely to the authoritarian rule of its leader Aslan Abashids. Although he successfully maintained order in Adjara and made it one of the country's most prosperous regions, he was accused of involvement in organized crime, notably large-scale smuggling to fund his government and enrich himself. The central government in Tbilisi had very little say in what went on in Adjara during the presidency of Duad Shevardnadze. This changed following the Rose Revolution of 2003 when Shevardnadze was deposed in favor of the reformist opposition leader Mikhail Saakashvili, who pledged to crack down on separatism within Georgia. In the spring of 2004, a major crisis in Adjara erupted as the central government sought to reimpose its authority on the region. It threatened to develop into an armed confrontation. However, Saakashvili's ultimatums and mass protests against Abashidz's autocratic rule forced the Adjaran leader to resign in May 2004, following which he went into exile in Russia. After Abashidz's ousting, a new law was introduced to redefine the terms of Adjara's autonomy. Levin Varshalamid succeeded Abashidze as the chairman of the government. In July 2007, the seat of the Georgian Constitutional Court was moved from Tbilisi to Batrami. In November 2007, Russia ended its two-century military presence in Georgia by withdrawing from the 12th military base in Batrami. Since mid-2000s, Turkey has expanded its influence over Adjara. Turkish influence can be seen in the region's economy and in the religious life through the region's Muslim population. Law and government. The status of the Adjaran Autonomous Republic is defined by Georgia's law on Adjara and the region's new constitution, adopted following the ousting of Aslan Abashidzhe. The local legislative body is the parliament. The head of the region's government the Council of Ministers of Adjara is nominated by the President of Georgia, who also has powers to dissolve the assembly and government and to overrule local authorities on issues where the Constitution of Georgia is contravened. Akil Kabarts is the current head of the Adjaran government. Adjara is subdivided into 6 administrative units. Geography and climate. Adjara is located on the southeastern coast of the Black Sea and extends into the wooded foothills and mountains of the Lesser Caucasus. It has borders with the region of Guria to the north, Samtskhe-Javakheti to the east and Turkey to the south. Most of Adjara's territory either consists of hills or mountains. The highest mountains rise more than 3,000 meters above sea level. Around 60% of Adjara is covered by forests. Many parts of the Meskheti Range are covered by temperate rainforests. Adjara is traversed by the northeasterly line of equal latitude and longitude. Climate Adjara is well known for its humid climate and prolonged rainy weather, although there is plentiful sunshine during the spring and summer months. Adjara receives the highest amounts of precipitation both in Georgia and in the Caucasus. It is also one of the wettest temperate regions in the Northern Hemisphere. No region along Adjara's coast receives less than 2,200 mm of precipitation per year. The west-facing slopes of the Meskheti Range receive upwards of 4,500 mm of precipitation per year. The coastal lowlands receive most of the precipitation in the form of rain. September and October are usually the wettest months. Batchami's average monthly rainfall for the month of September is 410 mm. The interior parts of Adjara are considerably drier than the coastal mountains and lowlands. Winter usually brings significant snowfall to the higher regions of Adjara, where snowfall often reaches several meters. Average summer temperatures are between 22–24 degrees Celsius in the lowland areas and 17–21 degrees Celsius in the highlands. The highest areas of Adjara have lower temperatures. Average winter temperatures are between 4–6 degrees Celsius along the coast, while the interior areas and mountains average around -3–2 degrees Celsius. Some of the highest mountains of Adjara have average winter temperatures of -8–7 degrees Celsius. Economy: Adjara has good land for growing tea, citrus fruits and tobacco. Mountainous and forested, the region has a subtropical climate, and there are many health resorts. Tobacco, tea, citrus fruits, and avocados are leading crops. Livestock raising is also important. Industries include tea packing, tobacco processing, fruit and fish canning, oil refining, and shipbuilding. The regional capital, Batchami, is an important gateway for the shipment of goods heading into Georgia, Azerbaijan and landlocked Armenia. The port of Batchami is used for the shipment of oil from Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. Its oil refinery handles Caspian oil from Azerbaijan, which arrives by pipeline to Support and is transported from there to Batchami by rail. The Adjaran capital is a center for shipbuilding and manufacturing. Adjara is the main center of Georgia's coastal tourism industry, having displaced the northwestern province of Abkhazia since that region's de facto secession from Georgia in 1993. Population: according to the 2014 census, the population of Adjara is 336,077. The Adjarians are an ethnographic group of the Georgian people who speak a group of local dialects known collectively as Adjarian. The written language is Georgian. The Georgian population of Adjara had been generally known as Muslim Georgians until the 1926 Soviet census, which listed them as Adjars, and counted 71,000 of them. Later, they were simply classified under a broader category of Georgians, as no official Soviet census asked about religion. Today, calling them Muslim Georgians would be a misnomer in any case, as Adjarans are now about 70% Christian. Ethnic minorities include Russians, Armenians, Pontic Greeks, Abkhaz, etc. Religion: the collapse of the Soviet Union and the re-establishment of Georgia's independence accelerated re-Christianization, especially among the young. However, there are still remaining Sunni Muslim communities in Adjara, mainly in the Kulo district. According to the 2006 estimates by the Department of Statistics of Adjara, 63% are Georgian Orthodox Christians, and 30% Muslim. The remaining are Armenian Christians, Roman Catholics, and others. Traditional public festivals. Selimoba Selimoba is held in Bako village, Kulo municipality on July 3 and commemorates the life of Selim Kimshiashvili. A concert with the participation of local amateur groups of a folk handicraft products exhibition is held during the festival. It is supported by Ministry of Education, Culture and Sports of Adjara. Shuamtoba Shuamtoba is a traditional festival, which is held on the summer mountain pastures of two municipalities, in the first weekend of every August. Horse racing, folk handicraft products exhibition and a concert involving folk ensembles are held on Shuamtoba. Matchakloba Machakloba is Machak-Hela Gorge festivity, held in the second half of September. It is a traditional holiday celebrated in Machak-Hela Gorge, Kailvakori municipality. Festival begins at the Machak-Hela Rifle Monument, continues in the village Machak-Hispiri and ends in the village Zeda-Chkutuneti. Kokoba Kokoba is an ancient Laz festival. It is held at the end of August or at the beginning of September in Sapi village, Kailvakori district. The myth about Argonauts is performed on stage during the festival. Famous Adjarans. Tbeli Abusarists, a Georgian writer and scientist. Selim Kimshi-Ashvili, as Pasha of Ottoman and Russia political affairs on 1802. Ahmed Pasha Kimshi-Ashvili, Great Ottoman Pasha. Memday Bashids, a prominent political leader of Muslim Georgians. Aslan A. Bashids, an ousted regional leader. Zurab Nagadali, former Prime Minister of Georgia. Levin Varshalids, head of the Adjaran government, 2004–2012. See also: Former countries in Europe after 1815, Laz people, subdivisions of Georgia. References. External links: Government of Adjara, Supreme Council of Adjara, Tourism and Resids Department of Adjara, Georgian Territories, Area, BBC profile, Islam and Islamic practices in Georgia, in pictures, Area's Velvet Revolution 2004.